Hello everyone, this is Ram Karthikeya and today I will be reading part 14 Revenue of the book People's Democracy. Article 20 Revenue. Definitions. Tax is the money collected from persons domiciled in the territory for government expenses. Income tax, corporate tax, VAT, property tax, professional tax, etc. Duty is the money collected to allow the transfer of property in specified goods proportionate to the value of the goods to regulate such transfers. Export duty, import duty, excise duty, etc. Fee is a fixed amount of money collected from a person towards the cost of a facility or service provided to the person. Consumer bill is the money payable by a person towards cost of goods, facility, or service proportionate to the quantity consumed by the person. Toll is the money collected from persons availing a facility to recover the cost of construction or infrastructure of that facility. Cess is the money collected from specified category of persons for a specified purpose proportionate to the income or expense of the person during a specified period. Government of the nation or of a state or of a municipality shall collect money from the persons domiciled in its territories in the form of tax, duty, fee, consumer bill, toll, and cess by agreement with this constitution. There shall be a consolidated fund, a public accounts fund, and a contingency fund for the nation, for every state, and for every municipality. All revenues received by the government in the form of tax and duty, and all revenues received in the form of lease and rent money for public property shall form the consolidated fund. All other public money received by or on behalf of the government in the form of fee, consumer bill, toll, and cess shall form the public accounts fund. Contingency fund shall be provided from the consolidated fund and shall be placed at the disposal of the President of the nation, or of the state, or of the chairperson of the municipality, as the case may be, for unforeseen expenses, which cannot be delayed until approval by agreement with this constitution. After approval of the expenses funded by contingency fund by agreement with this constitution, the amount shall be credited into the contingency fund from the consolidated fund or the public accounts fund, as the case may be. Persons domiciled in the nation shall have to contribute for the government expenses, and the government shall collect funds from persons domiciled in the nation towards cost of the facilities availed, goods consumed, and of regulating the excesses of human action in the interests of the nation, its territories, and the people, by agreement with this constitution. Taxation. Tax is collected proportionate to income or expenses or property of a person in the territory. Tax collected in different forms shall be an index of affordability and attitude of the people, and shall focus the territories and people in need of government action to improve economic viability and living standards. Income tax. Contribution for the government expenses is a right and duty of every citizen of the nation with the right to vote from his personal income. An amount affordable by the citizens with lowest income, as assessed or revised by agreement with this constitution, shall be contributed as tax of citizenship, base tax, by every citizen with a voting right. Every citizen with voting right shall have to pay tax of citizenship once in every financial year. Payment of citizenship tax shall establish a right of the citizen in ruling the nation and all rights of a citizen by agreement with this constitution to all his family members. Any person domiciled in the nation whose total annual income from all sources is more than the essential requirements of his family members shall have to pay apart from his excess income in the form of income tax to the government. This tax shall only be on the excess income in the financial year, and the rate of tax shall be decided or revised by agreement with this constitution. All the expenses related to any source of income shall be deducted from the total income of the person. Amount needed towards essential requirements for one person shall be decided or revised and declared as basic allowance, basic tax-free allowance of the territory, by agreement with this constitution by the district municipality. The amount of basic allowance for every member of the family shall be deducted from the total income in the financial year. Every person who is living together in a family with equal rights and responsibilities shall be considered a member of that family, irrespective of relation by birth. Basic allowance of any person in a financial year shall be applicable to the income of one person only. Income in the form of interest on currency deposits shall be adjusted by inflation. Every person shall have to maintain accounts in any format convenient to him, which can detail the sources and income, deductible expenses, taxable income, and tax paid. Comptroller and Auditor General shall credit the citizenship tax and income tax paid by a person to the account of the municipality of domicile of the person. Taxpayers shall deposit citizenship tax and income tax in the specified accounts and submit the tax receipts to the municipality of domicile. Or, the municipality of domicile shall receive and deposit the tax amounts in the specified accounts and convey the receipts to the taxpayers. Taxes paid by persons and persons yet to pay taxes shall be announced in the municipal constituency meetings and or municipality meetings. Municipalities shall submit tax statements to the tax authorities and Comptroller and Auditor General of the nation and of the state. Accounts of any person shall be subjected to audit on any suspicion or application by the people of the territory. Any citizen who has a single source of income and or unable to earn sufficient funds for income-related expenses and essential requirements for family members in any financial year for any legitimate reason shall be entitled to claim for the deficit amount from his income tax paid in 5 previous years by application to the municipality. Corporate tax. Corporate body includes any establishment, institution, trust, industry, or any such organization owned or managed by a group of persons who shall be deemed to be a legal citizen of the nation. All such legal citizens shall be liable to contribute a part of excess income in the form of corporate tax to the government as decided or revised by agreement with this constitution. The net income after deducting all income related expenses from the total annual income shall be the taxable income. These legal citizens shall not be entitled for any basic allowance, basic tax-free allowance towards essential requirements of members. But any such citizen who fails to earn sufficient funds for income-related expenses in any financial year for any legitimate reason shall be entitled to claim for the deficit amount from his corporate tax paid in 5 previous years. These corporate bodies shall deposit the corporate tax, income tax on paid up dividends, income tax on the salaries paid to the employees, and other applicable taxes into the specified accounts and submit the statements to the tax authorities, Comptroller and Auditor General of the nation and of the relevant states, and to all investors, employees, and customers. Corporate tax shall be credited to the account of the municipality of domicile of these corporate citizens, legal citizens. Income tax on the dividends shall be credited to the account of the municipalities of domicile of the investors, and the income tax on the salaries paid shall be credited to the account of the municipalities of domicile of the employees. Value added tax, VAT. Value added tax, VAT, is for transfer of property in goods or services and includes VAT on goods, sales tax, and VAT on services, service tax. VAT shall be another source of income for the government and its proportion may be increased with the cost of naturally non-essential goods and services. In addition, VAT shall be useful to protect the interests of the territory, its local produce, and local consumption. VAT on certain notified goods and essential services utilized mostly by people with low income may be made minimum or exempted by agreement with this constitution. Goods produced and services provided by individuals without not more than few 6 to 10 helpers shall be exempted from VAT. Corporate bodies shall pay VAT on goods for each batch of goods they produced into the specified account and shall submit the details, batch number, date and quantity, VAT paid, and transaction number to the Comptroller and Auditor General of the nation and states. Each buyer shall be given a receipt for goods purchased with quantity of goods, batch number, cost, VAT, and transaction number of VAT. The retailers of consumers shall submit a copy of the receipt to the municipalities of consumers' domicile and the municipalities to the Comptroller and Auditor General for transfer of VAT into their accounts. Unclaimed part of the deposited VAT shall be in the account of the depositor. Service establishments shall give a receipt to their customers with date, details of service availed, cost of service, and service VAT. The service establishments shall deposit the service VAT collected in a month into the specified account in the first week of the following month and shall forward a statement with list of consumers, receipt numbers, cost of service, service VAT collected, and the date and transaction number of deposited service VAT to the Comptroller and Auditor General. The consumer shall submit a copy of the receipt to the municipalities of their domicile and the municipalities to the Comptroller and Auditor General for transfer of service VAT into their accounts. Exit VAT on goods transported to other territories shall be credited to the account of the source territory of the goods, and the entry VAT on goods imported from other territories shall be credited to the account of the consumer territory of the goods. Property tax and professional tax. Property in a territory, whether is under proper intended utilization or not, shall avail certain government services of common interest. Municipality shall have to provide certain special facilities like access and or special resources and hazardous waste management for some professions essential for the people. The expenses towards such government facilities and services cannot be determined at individual level. Hence, the government expenses for common interests towards property shall be distributed among the owners of the property as property tax, proportionate to road length of the property, its total area, constructed area, and intended utility, by agreement with this constitution. And the government expenses towards special facilities and services provided to service establishments shall be distributed as professional tax based on the type and size of institution, types of services provided, and its annual income. The owners of property shall be liable to pay property tax, and the owners of service establishments shall be liable to pay professional tax to the municipality as assessed or revised by agreement with this constitution. Names of persons who paid and yet to pay the taxes shall be announced in the municipality and constituency meetings. Duty, export duty, import duty, excise duty, etc. Duty shall be charged to regulate transfer of property in specified goods between parties in the interests of people of the nation and its economy, but not as a source of income for the government. Export duty. Transfer of property in locally produced goods between local parties shall not attract any VAT or duty to encourage local produce and local consumption of the local produce. Export duty and VAT shall be charged to discourage export to other nations and territories for monetary advantage and to retain sufficient produce for local consumption. Priority for export of excess goods shall be to other cooperative territories of the nation in need, and then to other cooperative nations. VAT and export duty shall be charged to regulate the operations accordingly, by agreement with this constitution. Import duty. Import of small number/quantity of any foreign product by any person for personal consumption or utility shall be allowed without any charge or duty, provided its purchase money shall be from foreign earnings of the person. Import of any product by any person for commercial purpose shall be allowed up to 75% of foreign earnings or earning from the export of his products. The imported product shall be liable for charge of import duty if the same or suitable substitute is locally available. The import duty shall have to be paid from foreign earnings only, may be of any person. Governments may import essential products for consumption or utility without any import duty when suitable local produce is unavailable or not sufficient. Excise duty. Consumption of some products shall be hazardous to people and property. Government can prohibit production or sale or use of such products by people domiciled in the nation by agreement with this constitution. Government may issue permit to any person for production or purchase for restricted professional or technological use of such products if essential under strict regulations by agreement with this constitution. Transfer of property in such products shall attract a charge of excise duty to prevent abuse of the products and to avoid excess consumption. The people involved shall have to maintain the records of production, distribution, sale or purchase, and consumption of such products to exact quantities. Fees. All persons domiciled in a territory of the nation may not utilize certain government facilities or services, and a single establishment or institution or department may provide a wide range of facilities and services. Many times, cost of a facility or service availed by a person cannot be determined. In such cases, a fee of fixed amount shall be collected from persons availing a facility or service. Government shall fix or revise the fee for any facility or service to include all estimated costs with a marginal excess by agreement with this constitution. Certain fees may be fixed proportionate to the relative property value or estimated time of service to be provided. Registration fee, judicial court fee. Consumer bill. Where a unit price can be determined, persons shall pay accordingly in the form of consumer bill for any product or facility or service utilized or to be utilized, and the unit price of any product or facility or service shall be fixed and revised to include all costs, charges, and a marginal excess by agreement with this constitution. Toll. A person may be authorized to advance funds for any construction or infrastructure for the development of any facility or service by agreement with this constitution. Such persons may be authorized to collect money from the persons utilizing the facility or service in the form of toll to recover their advanced funds and agreed rate of interest, if any, by agreement with this constitution. Cess. Funds in the form of cess may be collected from the target population availing a common interest to fulfill the revenue deficit related to the common interest. The rate of a cess shall be fixed by agreement with this constitution, and collection of the cess shall be ceased after the required funds are accrued. Consolidated fund. Consolidated fund shall be formed by the contributions of persons domiciled in the nation in the form of taxes and duties for government expenses and the revenue from the public property. The fund shall be utilized towards expenses related to non-personalized common interests and fundamental rights, government, defense, education, medical and health facilities, etc. Public Accounts Fund. Public Accounts Fund shall include payments by people domiciled in the nation in the form of fees, consumer bills, tolls, and cess towards products or facilities or services of common interest utilized by them. Public Accounts Fund shall be utilized towards the expenses related to the source, departments, or establishments of the source territories. Contingency Fund. Contingency Fund shall be provided from the Consolidated Fund. After the expenses funded by the Contingency Fund are approved by agreement with this Constitution, the amount shall be credited to the Contingency Fund from the Consolidated Fund or the Public Accounts Fund, as the case may be.